Good morning, everyone. We're about to bring you the latest COVID-19 UAE updates. However, if you found this podcast through an article, which so many of you are doing, please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts so you can get your Dubai news daily.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. I am Shireen Ahmed and I'm your co-host for today and on every weekend, actually. This is basically a show where we give you the top trending stories that take place here in Dubai or in the UAE, really. I have Rawan joining me. Woohoo! She started with us yesterday, and Mariam's currently on a break. So we miss you, Mariam. Again, I don't even know if she's seeing this, but I'm giving her a shout out like every single day on the weekends. And yes, it is a lovely Saturday. Let me know if you guys have any plans. We have a few things to talk about today, like a company that decided to trial a 4-day work week, the envy of everybody basically, and a Dubai student that has been named among the world's brightest, as well as the Emirates video, because everyone's really been talking about, is it real, is it fake? If you've seen it, we'll talk about it, we'll get right back into it in a bit. But first I want to ask how you guys are doing. What do you have planned for your Saturday? Let me know in the comment section below. I do give shout outs throughout this thing, and if you're not bothered to watch my face, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but I mean, it's a bit rude. But if you're not somehow, you can have and listen to this in podcast form. We go live as well in podcast form on Anchor, Spotify, I was about to say Shopify. There's just so many. Basically every streaming platform you can think of, Google, iTunes, we're all there, all in. So let's just get right into it. Or should we get right into it? Rawan, how's your day? Do you have any plans for Saturday?
All good, thank you. I guess I'm going out with my family today.
I love that. Where are you? What are the plans? Food?
We're going to watch a film.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we like going to the cinema a lot.
I love that. Well, it makes sense then with the degree that you ended up taking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything new going on these days anyway at the cinema? And you guys too, let me know because I am also a huge movie buff and I enjoy going to the cinema alone. It is such an underrated thing, but isn't it? Have you tried going to the cinema alone?
Yeah, I've tried before, like going alone and stuff. It's much more like
I guess you get to feel the movie more or
exactly,
something.
you understand it more.
Yeah, because there's no bickering around you, there's no distraction. I can cry if I want to without feeling like, oh my God, I have to control it a little bit. So that's awesome. But yes, that's interesting. Like I said to everybody earlier on Instagram, I'm just gonna sleep tonight. Saturday is gonna be very nice by listening and seeing you. Oh, stop. Stop, Riaz. You make me blush. Thank you so much. I see everybody giving us the hearts. I appreciate you guys. But yes, let's just get right into it. Okay, so there is a digital marketing company in Dubai that wants to trial a 4-day work week until the end of the year. Can you imagine? So the digital marketing agency is called Active Digital Marketing Communications, and they've announced via LinkedIn post just this week actually that they want to switch to a 4-day work week starting September 1. Okay, so this is a part of their trial phase. They're gonna see it through until the end of the year, see how good it is, and maybe eventually adopt it. What do you guys think? I know that, was it Ireland? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Ireland that recently just took this on. There was a company there. So that's super, super interesting. Imagine we start seeing this on a more common basis. I mean, it starts with one, right? And then eventually it might become the norm. I don't know. You guys tell me. In the comment section, for all you guys also watching on Instagram, would you like a 4-day weekend? Do you think it would be... it would make you more efficient in your line of work? Does it work for some lines of work and not for others? Let us know, because like for myself, for example, if I was in media full time, which I used to be, I think it wouldn't, I just think it wouldn't work. It would be nice to have the 3-day weekend. I'm not sure about, or maybe yes, if you'd scheduled everything ahead, but right, news is more relative, and so it's something that needs to be done on a daily basis. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Rawan, what do you think of a 4-day work week? Like if you were going to start work.
Make employees more productive because they will have enough time like resting and also like managing to finish work and stuff. I think it's like,
which is the same reason this company wanted to do it. They were like, oh, it's really good we want to obviously improve our employees' work-life balance, which I do see as obviously it is one of the main reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it would increase productivity since that they'll have more time doing their own work or having their own business, for example.
Right.
So they'll have some time for themselves and for their company.
Correct. Yeah. Because when you are just working, and let's face it, when you work usually, right, you'll have a bare 2 hours to yourself when you get home if it's a full-time job. And then that's when you have the full weekend to really just relax. What's it called? And that doesn't really give much time if you have things to do, like errands to run that you couldn't during the weekdays. And so I think it's these little things that affect your day-to-day life that'll eventually maybe make you hit a point where you're unable to be as productive as you are, right? Especially if you're maybe in a job that requires a lot of focus. So we have Uva Esravi saying we'll have to achieve the target. Doesn't matter whether 4 or 5 days a week. True. What line of work are you in? I have 5 working days, but I'm working all 7 days a week. Okay. So it was like Rihanna works 3 times. I don't think Rihanna, I feel like, no, I think for entrepreneurs it's probably different, isn't it? Because you'd have to kind of do it every day. You can't really decide, or maybe you can once everything's sorted. And she is a billionaire now. So, but anyway, right. So the agency is going to trial the 4-day week until the end of the year. And in case you were wondering, they're not going to do any salary cuts. None of those changes are going to take place in their contracts, really, other than the fact that they will just work one day less in the week. And isn't that just fabulous? All right. Obviously, we all know that the pandemic has really made this idea of, you know, working from home and working less hours a more digestible thing. Like, it's so much more than just a concept now, right? Back then it was like, oh, we could only dream of this, but now it's really, we're seeing it come to life. People are realizing the benefits of it. I guess people themselves who have experienced this in the pandemic now want to do that, you know, now want to see how this can potentially be beneficial to them. All right. Okay, Syed Imtiyaz, comments like that could get you reported. I would probably think twice about typing things like that. I'm not gonna ignore it, all right? I do not accept that on here. Thank you. Hi, Eniola. Thank you so much. How are you doing? All right. So the team at this agency is actually going to kickstart the adjustment process this month, so August, but they'll officially implement the trial plan from September, obviously, until December. The CEO of the company actually said, we've been studying the pros and cons of a 4-day week for some time now. What goes into making it happen, and more importantly, a success. We spoke to a few business owners in Europe and the US about their experiences and thoughts, read a lot about productivity and work-life balance. And when it came to team morale and productivity, the decision became obvious to us. Let's do this. 4-day week, here we come. I love that. And I can't wait to hear back, obviously, from them. I'll probably keep up with her on LinkedIn just to see how this turns out. Because, right, if it works for them, they're going to be the first kind of basis in Dubai. And then maybe we're going to start seeing more companies take on the same thing. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. All right, up next. Priyamvada Deshmukh, a 12-year-old student in Dubai, has been making headlines because she is among the world's smartest. Okay, she's excelled in her studies and obviously got the recognition that she deserves. All right. She studies at GEMS Modern Academy here in Dubai, and she just received her top honor for exceptional performance in school and college ability test. So that's the SSAT. I am not among the world's brightest, as you can hear. So someone was like, when's your next public holiday? Okay, the next public holiday is on the 12th. We have an article on that. Cool. Okay, Priyamvada Deshmukh has been named one of the brightest students in the world by a top American university. Someone even tweeted, my super gifted sister has acclaimed international recognition for something we knew all along. She's been named on the world's brightest students list. Congrats, congrats. She also earned the Johns Hopkins CTY High Honors Awards. That is just incredible. I cannot even relate to this right now. But yes, in spring 2020, when she was in grade 6, okay, this was when she took the test. And she got all of that accolade. Oh, I love that. I love that. It was split into 2 sections. There was a verbal and quantitative bit for the test. She qualified for the quantitative section and leveled with the advanced grade 10 in the verbal part of the exam. Amazing. We cannot wait to see what she gets up to in the future, if this is, you know, already what she's accomplishing today. I love that.
Lovin Extra is here. This is the new membership, and while absolutely nothing changes for our readers, extra members get access to premium content, exclusive competitions, and first look for tickets and access to the coolest events across the city, and Lovin merch. If you subscribe right now, a very cool Lovin Red Eco Water bottle will be delivered to your door.
Okay. And finally, okay, the Emirates video. I talked about this yesterday as well. Obviously, we now know that they've recently announced that the UK has officially taken the UAE off of the red list. It is now on the amber list, which means people don't really have to quarantine in a hotel. There's no mandatory hotel stay anymore. And so for this, the Emirates announced that flights would soon be open, or are already actually open again, between the UAE and the UK for people who have, missed seeing their family members, people who are stuck, any of that sort. And it's basically an ad, obviously, to fly with them. except it was done differently. There was a woman holding the banners, you know, saying all these things. If you could probably see the video if you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all of that. But we do have the video on our Instagram account if you want to check that later as well. Obviously, don't switch off. But basically, she's holding the banner, and it slowly pans out to the last sign that she pulls out. The camera pans out, and you see this woman all alone at the very pinnacle of Burj Khalifa. Not even the 123rd floor, not the 127th floor, not atmosphere, not the deck, the observation deck. She is right at the top. It looks scary. If you have fear of heights, this is it's unfathomable. But she's basically on top of there, and people were just curious because they panned out and showed obviously the entire city, and it's just her. They were like, people were like, some comments were like, okay, amazing, this is an ad done well. And everybody, no one can deny how amazingly and how creatively thought of this ad was, right? It really took on top of the world on a whole new level, which was one of the slogans in the signs that they mentioned. However, others were also saying, is it true? Is it fake? Is it a green screen? What is it? To which, when we actually shared the video on our account, a lot of the people who took part in the production of the advertisement said, yes, it is real. We're going to be sharing more footage in the coming days of basically how it took place. So can you imagine? Go back and watch that video again, because my mind is blown at how this could have possibly been done. And like, props to everybody on that team for making this happen, especially that woman who actually stood on top of the Burj Khalifa. I can only imagine the fear. I was telling Rich, our CEO, yesterday, I was at Burj Khalifa last week, was it? And I couldn't even handle being in a closed elevator space, no view or anything, but I couldn't be in the closed elevator space that went up from, 0 to 123rd floor, because my God, the claustrophobia I felt, but that's just me. So go on and watch it. And obviously, once we get the behind the scenes video of how this was all created, we're gonna share it immediately because it is super, super interesting. But you know what? That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining us on the Lovin Dubai show. We're here live every single day. You have Casey and Simran from the weekday starting tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. And I am here on the weekends. It's true. Goodness is positive. It's true. I just said it is true. And we're going to be sharing the behind the scenes footage that the team who actually worked on the production for the Emirates ad will give to us soon. They're all over our comments if you check the Instagram video, and they're actually confirming that it is true. Anyway, all right. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fabulous Saturday, and I will catch up with you next weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Guys, that is a wrap for the Lovin Daily. We are back same time, same place every weekday morning. And of course, don't miss the Lovin Show every Tuesday, where I chat with Dubai personalities. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and have a great day.